All right, so get this. You're curious how AI is going to like completely transform education by 2025. We've been like really digging into some research, especially this article. It's called "Y na educación, segredos para transformar o aprendizado in 2025."
Yeah.
And it's painting a pretty wild picture of the future.
What's really interesting is that AI's impact on education, it's not some far-off, like, futuristic fantasy, you know?
Right.
This is happening now.
It's happening now.
We are on the verge of a revolution in how we personalize education, making it way more engaging, way more effective for every student.
Okay, so no more cookie-cutter classrooms. That's a pretty big claim. This article dives into some like key areas where AI is already making some serious waves. Personalized learning, virtual mentors, and even things like predictive analysis.
Yeah.
And creating these totally immersive learning experiences.
Right.
I'm particularly fascinated by this idea of personalized learning.
Yeah.
It's not just about keeping kids busy with screens or anything. It's about truly tailoring education to individual needs.
You've hit on a really crucial point.
Yeah.
Imagine a system that goes beyond just test scores.
Right.
AI that can analyze a student's learning patterns, like their emotional responses to different subjects, even their social interactions in the classroom, to craft a truly personalized learning plan for each kid.
Hold on. AI analyzing a student's emotional responses.
Yeah.
How does that even work? Is that like some kind of mind-reading technology?
Not mind reading, but definitely sophisticated.
Okay.
Think of it like this. We already have technology that can, recognize facial expressions,
Right.
analyze voice patterns to gauge emotional states. Now imagine applying that in an educational setting, right?
Yeah.
An AI could detect if a student is getting frustrated or bored during a lesson
Right.
and adjust the content delivery in real time.
Oh, wow.
Maybe it slows down the pace, offers a different explanation, or even suggests a quick break.
So it's like having a personal tutor who can read your mood and adjust the lesson accordingly.
Exactly.
That's pretty amazing, but wouldn't they require constant monitoring? Incredibly resource intensive.
Well, that's where the real innovation comes in,
Yeah.
right? We're talking about AI systems that can operate in the background, seamlessly integrating into the learning environment.
Okay.
Think of it as an invisible support system that's always there, ready to step in when needed.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah.
This all sounds incredible, but it also raises some questions.
There.
Like, for example, could this type of hyper-personalization lead to students being siloed in their own little learning bubbles?
Yeah.
I mean, part of the value of education is learning to collaborate and interact with others.
Right. That's a great point, and it's something that educators and developers need to consider carefully,
Yeah.
The goal isn't to isolate students, but to empower them.
Right.
Imagine a system that uses AI to identify students with complementary learning styles and then suggests group projects or collaborative learning activities that play to their strengths.
So AI could be used to create more effective learning teams, not just individual learning paths.
Exactly.
I like that.
Yeah.
This actually segues nicely into another topic from the article, virtual mentorship.
Okay.
I have to admit, when I first heard that term, I pictured some kind of holographic professor like beaming into the classroom.
Yeah, it's not quite that futuristic yet,
Oh, yeah.
but the concept is fascinating.
Yeah.
Imagine having access to a virtual mentor that can answer your questions, provide feedback on your work, offer guidance any time of day or night. And this isn't about replacing teachers or anything. It's about augmenting their capabilities.
Okay, so how does this actually work in practice?
Yeah.
Is it like a chatbot that students can message?
It can be, but it's evolving far beyond just simple text-based interactions.
Right.
Imagine a virtual mentor that can analyze a student's writing style, identify areas for improvement, and then offer personalized feedback, maybe even suggesting relevant examples or resources.
So it's like having a super-powered writing coach in your pocket.
Exactly.
You could have really used that back in college.
I know, right?
But what about the human element? Don't you lose something when you take away that face-to-face interaction with a real teacher?
That's a key question, Remember, these virtual mentors are designed to supplement, not replace, human interaction.
Okay.
Teachers will always play a crucial role in education, providing guidance, fostering critical thinking, and building those relationships with students.
But that makes sense. It's about finding the right balance between human and artificial intelligence.
Right.
Using technology to enhance the learning experience without losing those essential elements of human connection.
Exactly.
This is all so incredibly thought-provoking.
It is. It really is. Yeah, it really is a delicate balancing act.
Right.
And this brings us to another fascinating application of AI in education, predictive analysis.
Predictive analysis.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm intrigued, but also a little bit wary.
Sure.
It sounds like we're venturing into like Minority Report territory here, where we're predicting students' futures based on algorithms.
Right.
Uh, how does that work, and is it really ethical?
Well, it's not about predicting a student's destiny or limiting their choices or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's more about using data to identify patterns and trends that can help us provide early intervention and support.
Oh, no.
Think of it like this. Imagine a system that can analyze a student's homework submissions, their test scores, even their online learning activity,
Right.
and detect those subtle signs that they might be struggling with a particular concept.
So instead of waiting for a student to like fail a test or fall behind in class,
Yeah,
we can use this data to identify potential roadblocks early on.
precisely.
Okay.
And this allows educators to intervene proactively, maybe offering extra tutoring, suggesting different learning resources, or even just having a conversation with the student to see what's going on.
So it's about providing support before a problem becomes a crisis.
Exactly.
I can see how that could be incredibly valuable, especially for students who might be hesitant to ask for help, or who are struggling silently. But doesn't this raise concerns about privacy? I mean, are we constantly monitoring students' every move?
That's a valid concern, and it's why transparency and ethical considerations are paramount when implementing these systems, right?
Right.
It's not about surveillance, it's about using data responsibly to support student success.
Okay.
And remember, this type of analysis can also be used to identify students who are excelling
Oh. Yeah.
and might benefit from more challenging material or enrichment opportunities.
So it's not just about catching students who are falling behind.
Right.
It's about recognizing and nurturing talent as well.
Exactly.
That's a much more positive way to frame it.
Yeah.
As we're talking about all these different applications of AI,
Mhm.
it's clear that we're moving towards a much more personalized
Yeah.
and data-driven approach to education.
It's absolutely. And this brings us to one of the most exciting areas where AI is making an impact. Immersive learning experiences.
Ooh. Yeah.
We're talking about leveraging technologies like virtual reality and augmented reality to create these really engaging and interactive learning environments.
Now, this is where it gets really interesting. I've always been fascinated by the potential of VR and AR in education.
Yeah.
Imagine taking a virtual field trip to the Amazon rainforest or exploring the human body from the inside out, all without leaving the classroom.
The possibilities are truly endless.
Right.
Imagine history lessons where students can step back in time and experience historical events firsthand, or science labs where they can conduct virtual experiments with hazardous chemicals without any real-world risk.
Talk about making learning come alive. But isn't this type of technology incredibly expensive?
Mm-hmm.
I can't imagine every school being able to afford to outfit their classrooms with VR headsets and the latest software.
That's a legitimate concern.
Yeah.
Access and equity are crucial considerations as we integrate these technologies into education.
Right.
However, the good news is that the cost of VR and AR technology is rapidly decreasing.
Yep.
And there are already a number of initiatives aimed at making these tools more accessible to schools and educators.
That's encouraging to hear. But even with the technology becoming more affordable,
Yeah.
wouldn't this require a major shift in how teachers are trained and how they approach their roles in the classroom?
Absolutely. Professional development and ongoing support for educators are essential.
Mm-hmm.
Teachers need to be equipped with the knowledge and skills to effectively integrate these technologies into their teaching practices.
Right.
It's not just about learning how to use the tools,
Right.
It's about understanding how to design engaging and effective learning experiences that leverage the unique capabilities of VR, AR, and other immersive technologies.
It sounds like we're talking about a pretty significant paradigm shift in education.
Mm-hmm.
And as with any major change, there are bound to be challenges and concerns along the way.
Right.
What are some of the potential downsides that we need to be mindful of as we venture into this new world of AI-powered education?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
One of the biggest challenges is ensuring that these technologies are used in a way that benefits all students, not just a select few.
Right. We need to be mindful of potential biases that could be embedded in these systems.
Yeah.
And we need to make sure that all students have equal access to these powerful tools.
It sounds like we need to approach this new frontier with a healthy dose of caution and critical thinking.
Yeah.
Not just blind enthusiasm, We can't let the excitement over the possibilities blind us to the potential pitfalls.
Precisely. And that's where open dialogue and ongoing evaluation are crucial.
Okay.
We need to have honest conversations about the ethical implications of these technologies,
Okay.
and we need to be constantly assessing their impact on students and educators alike.
This has been a fascinating exploration of AI in education so far.
It really has.
We've covered a lot of ground, from personalized learning and virtual mentorship to predictive analysis and immersive experiences.
Oh, yeah.
It's clear that AI has the potential to revolutionize how we learn and teach.
Indeed. And as we move forward, it's crucial to remember that technology is a tool.
Mm-hmm.
And like any tool, it can be used for good or ill.
Right. It's up to us as educators, parents, and policymakers to ensure that AI is used ethically and responsibly in education.
Right.
To create a future where all learners have the opportunity to reach their full potential.
Well said.
Yeah.
This deep dive is giving us a lot to think about, but I feel like we've only just scratched the surface.
We have.
There's so much more to explore and discuss. It's fascinating how we've gone from picturing robots in the classroom to talking about AI as a partner in learning, This article, AI na Educación, Segredos para transformar o aprendizado en 2025. It really makes you think about all the possibilities, but also, the potential challenges ahead.
Yeah, it's that balance that's so crucial.
Right.
We can't just get caught up in the wow factor of AI.
Yeah.
And forget about the human element. We've touched on some key concerns already, like making sure these technologies are accessible to all students regardless of their background or socioeconomic status.
Right, because the last thing we want is to create a system where only privileged students have access to the benefits of AI in education. That would just widen the achievement gap, not close it.
Exactly. And it's not just about access to technology.
Mhm.
It's about ensuring that these AI systems are designed and implemented in a way that's fair and equitable for all learners. We need to be vigilant about identifying and addressing potential biases that could be baked into these algorithms.
Can you give me an example of what that might look like in a real-world setting?
Sure. Let's say an AI system is being used to recommend career paths for high school students.
Okay.
If that system is trained on data that reflects existing gender stereotypes in the workforce, it might steer girls towards traditionally female-dominated fields, even if those girls have expressed interest in STEM careers.
So we could end up with an AI system that perpetuates the very biases we're trying to eliminate.
Yeah.
It's a sobering thought.
It is. It really is.
Yeah.
That's why it's so important to involve diverse voices in the development and implementation of these technologies, We need educators, parents, students, and experts from various fields working together to ensure that AI in education is used responsibly and ethically.
It sounds like transparency is key.
Mm-hmm.
We need to be able to understand how these AI systems are making decisions, and we need to have clear guidelines and safeguards in place.
Absolutely. And we also need to be realistic about what AI can and cannot do.
Right.
AI can be a powerful tool for personalization, for providing feedback, for identifying areas where students might need extra support.
Yeah.
But it can't replace the human connection, the empathy, the inspiration that a great teacher brings to the classroom.
I completely agree. Technology can enhance the learning experience.
Yeah.
But it can't replace that human element.
Right.
We're not talking about replacing teachers with robots.
No.
We're talking about empowering teachers with new tools and insights.
And that's where professional development comes in.
Right.
Teachers need to be trained not only on how to use these technologies, but also on how to critically evaluate them, how to identify potential biases, how to ensure that they're using AI in a way that benefits all students.
It sounds like a pretty exciting time to be an educator.
Yeah. It is.
There are so many new possibilities, but also a lot of responsibility that comes with it.
It is exciting, and it's important to remember that this is just the beginning,
Right.
AI is a rapidly evolving field, and we can expect to see even more innovative and transformative applications in education in the years to come.
This deep dive has definitely given me a lot to think about.
Yeah, me too.
It's clear that AI has the potential to revolutionize education, but it's up to us to ensure that it's used in a way that benefits all learners.
Right.
It's about finding that balance between the power of technology and the wisdom of human experience.
Well said.
Thanks.
And for you listening, we encourage you to continue exploring this topic, to ask questions, to engage in conversations about the future of AI and education. The more informed we are, the better equipped we'll be to shape this technology in a way that serves humanity.
This has been an incredible journey, and we're so glad you joined us for the ride. We'll be back soon with another deep dive into a fascinating topic, so stay tuned.
See you next time.
Until then, keep learning, keep questioning, and keep exploring the world